I have with me Padear, who's the representative of Fatah Foreign Relations Commission in the UK. Welcome to the Sinn Féin Ard Fheis, very historic Ard Fheis, the first one in Belfast. So you're very welcome.
It's an honour to be here today.
And it's an honour for us to have you. The people here in Ireland, and particularly in West Belfast, have over the years shown a great deal of solidarity with the Palestinian people. Have you any experience of that particular solidarity in any aspects of it?
The relationship between the Sinn Féin, Fatah, Irish people and Palestinian people goes for many, many decades ago. We have a lot of similarities in our history, our struggle, and the fate of our two political parties in terms of development, engaging in peace processes, and fighting for the rights of the people. Personally, I was here in Ireland about 10 years ago, and I witnessed firsthand the support, solidarity of the Irish during our second Intifada. A couple of months ago, we were visiting Ireland as part of a delegation to explain and promote the Palestinian campaign to gain recognition and admission of the Palestinian state to the United Nations. And we experienced a very warm welcome from Sinn Féin, from the Irish people. We were giving support in our call for the recognition of the Palestinian state, and this is a continuity of that long, warm relation between the two people.
Could you outline the situation as it is at the minute? Particularly in recent weeks, there have been a number of attacks on Gaza.
The Palestinian territories are all under occupation. Gaza, the West Bank, East Jerusalem are all Palestinian territories, are all suffering from various degrees of occupation. Gaza in particular have been the focus of the media due to the severity and the inhumane conditions the Palestinian people are suffering over there. The West Bank became, or areas in the West Bank became the center for civil resistance to the Israeli occupation, demonstrations against the wall. East Jerusalem have been undergoing a very, very rigorous campaign of Israeli de-Arabization of the city, trying to change the demographic construction of the city. Gaza, on the other hand, and Gazans have been the victims of the Israeli military might for a long time. Now, unfortunately, we've been trying to reach some sort of an understanding, stable ceasefire condition in the siege on Gaza, promote a non-violent solution to the issue through international means, through international support. Yet, it was very difficult over the past 2 years to change the mind of the current Israeli government to engage in a meaningful, productive negotiations that would lead to a lasting peace and a meaningful negotiations. And what we are seeing in Gaza, what we are seeing in the West Bank and Jerusalem are a result of this very strict Israeli position.
Is there one party easier to deal with than the other in Israeli politics?
Negotiations with the Israelis have always been difficult. There were times when the Israeli leaders meant what they said. There were times when they did not mean what they said, and there have been times when they didn't say anything. Now, the difference between different administrations, governments in Israel, and this one in particular, is that it's composed of the fundamentalists, the hardliners, the ones who are wanting to transfer the conflict back into the disengagement from the Palestinian issue totally, and the promotion of the land of Israel. Unfortunately, this has been very costly on the peaceful track.
You mentioned earlier on that the Palestinian people have engaged in a campaign to promote the idea of non-violence and end the occupation through non-violent political means. How is that being received on the international stage, and would it be more successful promoting that idea with, say, European countries than it might well be with the United States, regardless of which administration is in power in the United States?
It has always been the understanding that the end result of a peace agreement, peace negotiations, and a peace process would result in two-state solution, one Palestinian and one Israeli state. Now, the international community have been patient and trying to wait for the two parties, us and the Israelis, to reach that stage through negotiations only. During the past few years, we have proved the Palestinians' capability, ability, and readiness for statehood through development of security forces, implementation of development projects, and building institutions on the ground. There have been various international reports proving our readiness for statehood. And parallel to that, there was lack of willingness from the Israeli side to engage in a process that will lead to the two-state solution, particularly in the Annapolis conference and the Annapolis process. And since then, there haven't been any meaningful negotiations. The international community recognize the situation, understand the difficulties, and want to see an end that will lead to two-state solution. And therefore, our bid to go to the United Nations to reach recognition is in line with all these processes, in line with the two-state solution, and therefore have gained a lot of momentum lately. The European countries, the Latin American countries are taking very, very clear positions for the first time in support of the two-state solutions. And therefore, we have decided to take matters forward, to take the positive step, go to the United Nations, make clear that the two-state solution is our strategic choice, and it will eventually be a way back to negotiations. Meaning, even if we go and we were successful at the United Nations level, we will still have to negotiate a lot of matters with the Israelis. We will not reach a magic solution and impose a solution on the Israelis, but on the contrary, we will start to go back to negotiating table as two states, and we will talk about borders, talk about security arrangements, talk about refugees, talk about water resources, because these are matters that will not change with a United Nations resolution.
Yeah,
but absolutely.
Because clearly the issue of settlements, the water, the refugees, are very important to the Palestinian people. It's about their right to go back to their lands, and needless to say, the Israelis are very adamant that the refugees in particular don't return, and certainly they don't see any willingness to stop building settlements.
The issues of settlements and refugees have been discussed thoroughly through the course of the peace process in the 90s and the past decade. And the solution is ready. The problem is political willingness on the Israeli side to accept responsibility for certain actions that have happened and injustice that happened to the Palestinians. The right of return can be solved through many ways. The settlements issue have been discussed. Land swap is a method to overcome the settlements issue. However, it all should be done through a process of negotiations. We cannot accept the continuing grabbing of our land while we negotiate. It's just politically unviable. We cannot go to the negotiating table while our water resources, our land is being taken from our hands. It doesn't work.